you've been through, why you got scars. Since you walked through the door, I've been trying to reach you, 'cause I feel you. What's the story to tell? What's the story behind the mountain you're trying to climb? Think I've heard it before.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start off with a super easy breakfast idea. I'm just making a simple breakfast scramble. That way I can have it already ready to go through the week, and I can make different things out of it, which I'll give you some options here in a minute. But I'm gonna start off by browning up my turkey sausage. I have the Good & Gather turkey sausage here. It's 90 calories a serving and 11 grams protein. Tastes delicious. I'm gonna cook this entire roll here. To it, I'm gonna add 2 eggs, some egg whites. I'll give you the exact measurements once I'm done adding it in. Some fresh spinach that I just had frozen and I crumbled up here that I'm gonna add in. And then seasoning is gonna be Badia Complete Seasoning and Badia chopped onion flakes. So I'm gonna get all of this ready to rock and roll, sauteed in the pan. So I have my sausage here just browning up. I just sprayed the bottom of the pan with some of this avocado oil, and then I threw in some of the Badia Complete Seasoning. I'm just browning it up. I broke it up really good. And then I'm going to add the spinach and the onion flakes in there, cook that just for a couple minutes, and then we'll add the egg in and cook it up, and it'll be ready to rock and roll. And per usual, it wouldn't be one of my normal videos without forgetting to show you something, and one of the most important pieces, Daisy low-fat cottage cheese. I am going to be adding a ½ a cup in here, and then I'm just going to kind of melt it and work it all through, and then I'll add the spinach and the onion flakes. And just a pro tip, if you want a ton of extra flavor, let it brown on the bottom. One, I like that crispy texture, but 2, all those brown bits on the bottom will make absolutely awesome flavor. So now I'm going to add in my ½ a cup of Daisy low-fat cottage cheese. I have my 2 eggs and my egg whites mixed up here. You definitely could just do egg whites if you wanted to have it less calories. However, the egg yolks have all the healthy fats and the flavor and all of that in there, so I like to add at least 1 or 2 whenever I'm making the breakfast scramble or my egg cups or any of that. So, hi baby. So as you can see, the cottage cheese has melted through beautifully and all of the brown bits are off the bottom. I turned it down from medium heat to low heat, just mixed it through for a minute until the cottage cheese melted. I've added the spinach and the onion flakes. Oh, we're fogging up. It's nice and creamy and delicious. And now we are just going to stir in and cook the eggs. And looking delicious. Next up on the chopping block is a super easy lunch. I have 93% lean ground beef here. I have 2 bags of the Good & Gather sweet peas, and then I have some minute jasmine rice. And then of course both my Badia seasonings, complete seasoning, the chopped onion flakes. I'm gonna cook all of these up, throw them together, and lunch for the week will be ready. I've got my meat seasoned, and I just hit the bottom of the pan with avocado oil. Threw the meat in there with the seasoning. I'm going to brown that up. I have my water boiling for my rice here. And that minute jasmine rice is super easy. You could, of course, do regular rice if you want to. This is just for convenience and what we like. Super easy, equal parts water and rice. So I have the rice there waiting for that to boil, then I'll pop it in there. I have my ground meat mixture here on my scale. I'm getting ready to divvy it out evenly amongst my 4 meal prep containers here. I'm going to do the same things with the sweet peas that I just pulled out of the microwave, and then the rice is here ready, and I'm going to do that as well. Just equally measure them out into all 4 of these.
I don't really care if you are mine. I don't need another side. I'm wearing you down to the ground. We're done for the night. I really don't care if you are mine, but I'm keeping you.
I kept the breakfast scrambled super plain, as well as each of these lunches. That way I could add different sauces every single day, so it doesn't feel like I'm eating the same thing every single day, which I honestly don't mind doing that. But I'll add some sweet chili sauce, the G. Hughes one day, or sweet teriyaki marinade from G. Hughes or whatever, and just kind of switch it up each day. And I can do the same thing with breakfast burritos, or just have it as a scramble, have it with some avocados, some sour cream and salsa, whatever I want to do. For meal prep this week is going to be some ranch salsa verde chicken. I am actually prepping this the night before. I'm going to cook this in the crock pot tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in a Ziploc and get it marinating tonight. I actually saw this recipe from Chris Powell, I believe, on Instagram. I believe he is at Real Chris Powell. He did some chicken thighs. I'm going to do some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I'm also going to add some boneless, skinless chicken breast tenderloins. I'm going to add some of this Flavor God ranch dressing. You could just do like a Hidden Valley ranch packet if you want to. And then I'm going to add this entire jar of mild salsa verde and some complete seasoning. And then I'm just going to let this marinate all night, and I'm going to toss it in the crock pot tomorrow when I'm doing all the rest of my meal prep. Everything is mixed together and ready to go. I'm going to pop this in the fridge overnight, and then we'll throw it in the crock pot in the morning. Okay, so my chicken thighs and chicken breasts have been marinating all night long in the fridge, and now I've actually decided to slow cook them in my Dutch oven in the oven rather than the crock pot. I'm going to make something else in the crock pot for tonight's dinner. So I'm going to throw these in my Dutch oven, and I'm going to put them in the oven at about 300. Y'all, these are already smelling out of this world. Now I'm going to pop them in the oven for a few hours and knock out the rest of meal prep while it's cooking. For meal prep is some Mexican coleslaw. You guys know I love regular coleslaw, and I like meal prepping it from time to time. It makes for an awesome addition to lunch or a side for dinner or any of that. I'm actually going to be pairing this with Taco Tuesday's dinner, as well as having it throughout the week at lunchtime, so I am super stoked for it. The original recipe that I am following actually called for 2 bags of 16 ounces of the tricolor coleslaw, but I got these from Target and they are 8 ounces a piece, so I just cut the rest of the ingredients down some also. So I have 2 bags of the Good and Gather tricolor coleslaw, 77 grams of chopped red onion, I have some fresh chopped cilantro here, 4 teaspoons of honey, 28 grams of sliced jalapenos. The original recipe called for fresh, but they were out at Target and I just had these on hand, so we don't like a ton of heat anyway, so I just did like a small amount of that and I think it'll be perfect. And then also some lime juice, ground cumin, and Badia complete seasoning. So let's go ahead and get all this mixed up. So I'm gonna start by mixing some of the liquid stuff together first. It calls for a half a cup of lime juice, which seems like a ton to me, so hopefully this turns out good. The original recipe actually called for a cup, but that was with the double amount of coleslaw, so I just cut it down to a half cup. Go ahead and add in our jalapenos, our onions. I've already pre-weighed all of this out. I gotta tell you guys, I was pretty skeptical about this, but it smells incredible. I'm gonna pop it in the fridge and stay tuned to see how it turned out. Go ahead and jump into the protein bowls. Very minimal ingredients, high protein, low calorie, which is exactly what we need to stay on track and eat delicious food. So we of course have the Tyson blackened chicken strips. Also going to be using some of the Simply Pineapple Good Culture cottage cheese. You could use whatever cottage cheese you like. These ones are just clean ingredients, low calorie. They're delicious, awesome. I get these from Target as well. I like having the pineapple in there. It pairs perfectly with these veggie full rice cauliflower teriyaki blends, which also have pineapple in them, peas, carrots, and a sweet savory seasoning. I use the entire bag for one protein bowl. I have 3 of them here. I get these at Winn-Dixie. They're the only place in my area that carry them. I have checked everywhere. If any of you guys have found the veggie fulls anywhere else, let me know down below. But these are 40 calories a serving, and I believe there are 3.5 servings to a bag, and I use the entire thing for one protein bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and start by throwing my chicken in the air fryer. You just have to put it in there for a few minutes because you're also going to chop it and throw it in the saute pan with the cauliflower, and then you'll also be reheating it through the week, so you don't have to overcook it. These are already cooked. You really are just heating them up. But I like to throw them in the air fryer for a few minutes before I mix them in with the bowls in the saute pan, which is how I cook the cauliflower rice. You could do these in the microwave. I just find that they hold a lot more moisture that way. So I like to pan fry them. I just like the consistency of it. It always comes out perfect. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start sauteing these down, get the chicken in the air fryer, and I'll show you how I mix it all up. And of course I have to throw some Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse seasoning in there because why not? Hello, this stuff makes everything better. I'm obsessed with all the Kinder seasonings. I just ordered like a ton more from Sam's. Just gonna saute this down for a couple minutes and then I'll pull the chicken out. Okay, so I have the cauliflower rice sauteed up just like I want. My chicken is done. I weighed up 5 ounces and just cut it into bite-sized pieces. So I'm just gonna toss the chicken literally like, I don't know, 20-30 seconds. Just kind of mix it all together. And then we'll throw in our cottage cheese. I have had questions before, like people that don't like cottage cheese, if you can like really taste the cottage cheese flavor. I don't know, I like cottage cheese, so I like the way that it tastes. You could probably mix in another kind of cheese or a lower fat cream cheese. It's not gonna be the same as this, but you could just play around with it and see what you like. I love the Simply Pineapple Good Cultures. Like, they taste amazing. They're 100 calories and 15 grams of protein, and it makes it like the perfect creaminess and awesomeness. Just stir that around till it all melts down and incorporates together. Look at that gooey, cheesy awesomeness.